Have you noticed how the month starts full of promises and, when you blink, the money evaporates? It seems to disappear without a trace. And the worst part, when you try to figure out where it went, you can't remember half of the things you spent it on. But the truth is harsh. It's not how much you earn that makes you end up in the red. It's the habits you repeat every month without realizing it. In this video, I'm going to show you what's behind this cycle and how to change it with simple and effective actions that anyone can apply. So do this right now. Click the like button to help this video reach more people who also need to hear this, and subscribe to the channel, because here you'll find content no one tells you about money, extra income, and financial freedom.
Part 1. Know your numbers like never before.
The first step to making money left over is simple, but many people ignore it. Know exactly how much comes in and how much goes out. It seems obvious, but do you know today, precisely, how much you spend on groceries, transportation, leisure, and fixed bills? If your answer is more or less, you're on the wrong track. Grab a piece of paper or an app and write down every cent that comes in and goes out of your account for a month. Yes, even the coffee at the bakery and the bottle of water on the street. Only then will you see where your money is really going. Often, it's the small invisible expenses that add up to absurd amounts at the end of the month. This mapping is the X-ray of your financial life, and without it, any plan to save money will fail. Part 2. Set a clear limit for each expense. After knowing where your money is going, the next step is to set limits. Money without an owner has a destination, and usually that destination is to disappear. Take your expense categories and set a maximum value for each. For example, $600 for food, $150 for transportation, $100 for leisure. This forces you to make conscious choices and avoids the famous, "I spent without noticing." Write down these limits and track weekly if you're respecting them. If you exceed the set amount in one category, compensate in another. This practice creates discipline and makes you realize that, many times, you can live well spending less, without giving up what truly matters. Part 3. Learn to say no to impulse spending. One of the biggest villains for those who never manage to save money is impulse consumption. Flash sales, those no-interest installments, and the idea that "I deserve it" are emotional traps created to keep you stuck in the spending cycle. Before buying anything, ask yourself 3 questions. Do I really need this now? Can I pay for this in full without compromising my budget? If I don't buy it, will my life get worse? Most of the time, you'll realize the purchase isn't necessary and the pleasure would be momentary. Creating the habit of thinking before spending is what separates those who control money from those controlled by it. Part 4. Make savings a fixed expense. If you only save money when there's some left over, you'll never save anything. The secret is to turn savings or investment into a mandatory bill, just like electricity, water, and rent. Set a fixed amount, even if small, and transfer it to a separate account as soon as you get your paycheck. If possible, schedule automatic transfers. This avoids the temptation to spend before saving. The discipline of paying yourself first creates a positive psychological effect, and over time, that amount grows without you noticing. Sooner than you think, you'll have an emergency fund and even resources to fulfill your dreams. Part 5. Use money wisely to make it grow. Saving money is good, but making it grow is even better. And you don't need to be rich for that. Nowadays, there are investments accessible from $1 that yield more than savings accounts, like treasury bonds, fixed income securities, and daily liquidity CDBs. Research, compare rates, and start small. The important thing is to understand that idle money loses value because of inflation. If you want to change your life, you need to make your money work for you. Gradually, this investing habit becomes automatic, and your wealth begins to grow without depending solely on your monthly effort. Part 6. Cut out useless expenses you don't even notice. Another fundamental point for saving money is cutting expenses that go unnoticed. Many people pay for services they don't even use anymore. Forgotten streaming subscriptions, gyms they never attend, phone plans with more data than they need. Do a complete review of all charges on your credit card and bank account. Cancel what's unnecessary and renegotiate what's possible. This money that used to be wasted mercilessly can be redirected to your emergency fund or investments. Small monthly savings accumulated turn into big results in the long run. Part 7. Set real financial goals. Living without a financial goal is like driving a car without knowing the destination. You burn fuel but get nowhere. That's why you should set clear and realistic goals for your money. It could be paying off debt, saving $5,000 in 6 months, or taking your first international trip. When you write down a goal and visualize why you're saving, it becomes much easier to resist temptations. The brain needs purpose to maintain discipline. And every time you feel like spending on impulse, think about your goal, the impact it will have on your life, and how much today's small sacrifice will be worth it in the future. Part 8. Create extra income without leaving home. If your current money still feels insufficient even after all these adjustments, it's time to think about earning more. But don't worry, you don't have to quit your job or start a $1 million company for that. Nowadays, there are dozens of ways to generate extra income from home. Selling products online, freelancing, offering video editing or writing services, or even reselling clothes and accessories. The internet gives you the chance to start small and grow gradually. The secret is to use part of that extra income to boost your investments or speed up your financial goals. Those who create additional sources of income always manage to save faster. Part 9. Avoid debts that make others rich. If there's something that silently drains your money every month, it's installment debts, especially those made on credit cards and overdrafts. High interest rates are like a bottomless pit. You pay and pay, and the debt seems to never shrink. That's why you should avoid as much as possible unnecessary installments or using revolving credit. If you're already in debt, prioritize paying off the highest interest ones first, because they drain your income the most. Negotiate, swap expensive debts for cheaper ones, and set an aggressive plan to break this cycle. Money that goes to interest is dead money. It doesn't work for you. The moment you eliminate those burdens, you'll have more capital to invest and achieve your goals. The only good debt is one that generates more money than it consumes, and that almost never happens with a credit card or personal loan. Part 10. Adopt the habit of doing a weekly review. Most people only check their finances at the end of the month, when it's already too late to fix mistakes. Those who really manage to save money do it differently. They track their expenses closely, every week. Set aside 10 minutes every Sunday to check how much you've spent in each category and whether you're within the limits you set. If you realize you've overspent, adjust your decisions for the coming days. This small habit creates awareness and prevents little slip-ups from becoming budget holes. Also, by monitoring weekly, you'll notice behavior patterns that you might miss by only looking at the end of the month. Money is managed through routine, and those who build the habit of frequent control always end the month in the black. Part 11.
Investing financial knowledge.
If there's something that makes money grow in the long run, it's knowledge. The more you understand about personal finances, investments, and income multiplication strategies, the better your decisions and the less likely you are to fall into financial traps. Set aside part of your time to read books about money, follow specialized channels, and take free courses that teach you how to handle your finances. Knowledge is the one tool no one can take from you, and it protects you against the mistakes that make millions of people poorer every year. Ordinary people get rich because they chose to learn what no one taught them in school. And you can start now. Information is the key that opens the doors to financial freedom and ensures that, from now on, your money works for you, not the other way around. Part 12. Learn to differentiate desire from need. A silent mistake that stops money from accumulating is confusing desire with need. How many times have you told yourself, "I need this," when, in reality, it was just a passing craving? Marketing is a master at making you believe you need new things all the time. The latest smartphone, the new clothing collection, the trending item everyone's talking about. But the truth is that 80% of our purchases aren't out of real need, they're emotional or social status impulses. Before buying any product, do the 3-day test. Wait that long, think about whether you really need it, and if it still makes sense and fits your budget afterward, then buy it. Most of the time, the urge will pass. This simple exercise in financial awareness prevents useless expenses and makes you spend only on what truly adds value to your life, helping your money accumulate consistently. Now that you've understood how to make money left over, remember this quote from Warren Buffett: "Do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving." This simple and powerful thought separates those who live paycheck to paycheck from those who build financial freedom. Don't forget to like the video, comment below what keeps you from saving more money, and subscribe to the channel, and let's move together toward financial freedom.